Good evening, friends. Hello. Today we will start with a new session on the Tinkercad. Hello, my name is Poonam and I'm here for the new session on Tinkercad. Last time we have learned basic things which are designed into Tinkercad. So I hope you have enjoyed last session, and today we are here with the interesting things. Welcome for the today's session. Today we will learn some design techniques which are very much useful for 3D designing and for faster editing. So friends, last time we have also learned some basic techniques which are used into the Tinkercad software, and with that we have learned how to create login into Tinkercad and how to operate Tinkercad software. Now let's have a look on last PPT. So this is something which we have learned last time. So the tagline is think, create and make. So I hope you have enjoyed last session and you have created some different kinds of models and images. So I got a good reply from the parents and students also for this. So now let's start. So this software we have discussed last time: Tinkercad, Wings 3D, Sketches, Maya, then Fusion 360, and these are some 3D printers or 3D machines which are used for 3D modeling. Then we have learned how to operate 3D software. Then we have learned how to create account into Tinkercad. And we were having one session on Tinkercad in which we have learned how to create different kinds of circuit diagrams by using breadboards. So that was the second part of Tinkercad. Okay, so these are some slides, and this is something 3D engraving and 3D printer in which 3D models are designed. Now let's have a look on what we are learning today. So these are some design techniques which we want to learn today. First we will see one video in which you can able to see how 3D printing is done, how engraving is done. Then we will learn shortcuts used in designing, and then some important tricks on designing models. Then text, how to wrap the text. Then there is an interesting tool that we will explore today, and how to import files and all. So you must have seen some images which are given in this. So there is one kind of object which is on hand, and there is one printed design also. So let's have a look on one video. this was something related with the 3D printing and laser engraving. Now let us go with the shortcut keys which are required for 3D printing. So here are some shortcuts, that is Control C is for copy paste, Control V is for paste object, Control D is for duplicate, Control H for hide the selected object, Control Shift H is for hidden object, Control and G for group all selected object, then Control Shift plus G for ungrouping, then for Control upward arrow and downward arrow for moving the object, then Shift plus Alt for changing the dimensions of middle object, and combinedly if we use Control C and Control V, then it will copy the object and place at some distance. Then this is single letter shortcuts, that is L, M. L is for alignment tool, M is for mirror tool, F is for fit object view, R is for ruler, backspace is for delete, D is for down the object on work plane, H is for hole, T is for transparent, and if I press T again, then it will look like solid object, and S is for solid object again. Then there are some useful tips for 3D designing, that is hold shift key while rotating the object is for 45-degree rotation, hold shift while moving the object is for moving straight, hold shift key and scroll object from any one point is for change the object in uniform view. So I hope you guys have opened Tinkercad software. So let's start the tinkering. So I will tell you. So now I will tell you how to create the design. So this is the screen in which there are number of options available. Now I have to go to 3D designing and I will click on create new design. It's opening. I hope you guys have opened this software. So this is the 3D software which we have used last time. So there are number of options. Let's have a look on the number of options. So this is a work plane, and there are on left side there are some options, and right side there are some options, and these are some views. This is the home view. Then this is home view. Then plus minus option for scrolling inside. Options on other side also. Okay, so this is a work plane. Now there are basic shapes on this side, then text and numbers, characters that last time we have seen, and grouping for ungrouping, then aligning, then for mirror, that things we have seen. So today we will learn how to use those tools by using shortcuts. So this is my work plane. Now I will go to basic shapes. I will take one shape here. Then if I will click on the corner, there are two dimensions given. These two dimensions are given in mm. So this is 20 and this is 20. Okay. So now I have to use some shortcut keys here. So there is one option. If I will click on the corner and if I will press shift button and if I will scroll this, then it will change its shape and you can see that length and width both are changing in same direction. Okay, and you can see the notifications also. Here 57 is given, length is 57 mm and width is 57 mm. If I will press shift, and then if I will scroll, so it will change the shape. That means length, width and height, they are changed symmetrically. So if I want to change the shape by using keyboard, so I will simply click on this white box and I will write some numbers. See, suppose I will write 50, so my length will be changed by 50. If I will write here width as 50, then my width will change by 50. Now if you will click on the box and there is one notation, if I will press my cursor on that, so it will read. So from this you can change the height, and on this, above that, you will find one triangle. So that triangle is used for moving the object upward and downward. So now we will see which shortcuts we can use for this. So now I have shown you that shift is used for when I will press shift and I will click on the corner, so I can change my shape, I can change the dimensions symmetrically. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now I want to change the dimensions of this box. I will keep it little bit like this. And now if I want to copy this object, so I will click on the object, I will press Ctrl C, and wherever I want to paste, I will click here and I will paste. So it will paste the object. Then I can move the shape. So this is Ctrl C and Ctrl V. Now beauty of this Ctrl C and Ctrl V together is, so if I will have this shape, okay, if I will click on this, I will simply click Ctrl C and Ctrl V. So it will copy and paste the object at some location, and again I will press same thing, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So you can see there are the shapes which are duplicated but at some distances. So this is Ctrl C and Ctrl V, that is copy. Ctrl C is copy and Ctrl V is paste. Okay, so this is the copy and paste option. Now if I want to delete the object, okay, if I want to delete the object, so I will simply click backspace, so that will delete the object. Okay, if I want to delete, I will simply press backspace. Now let's take some other shape. So I will take cylinder here. Okay, so if I want to group all these two objects together, okay, so if I want to group this box and this cylinder together, so I will select these two objects by simply dragging the cursor. I have selected that and I will press Ctrl G. So Ctrl G means grouping. Ctrl G means grouping two objects. Now I have clicked outside, and now if I will click inside, so then two objects will move together. Why? Because I have grouped those two objects. Now if I want to ungroup that, so I will press Ctrl H and shift, Ctrl H and shift. Okay, one second. Ctrl shift and H, that is for ungrouping. Ctrl G is for grouping, Ctrl G is for grouping, and Ctrl shift G is for ungrouping the two objects. Okay, so now I have two shapes now. So let's create something by using these two shapes. So I will change the dimensions now. See, I have changed the length, then I have reduced the height, again I have increased the length, and again I have increased the height. Now let's take cylinder. Okay, I have taken cylinder. Now I will click on corner and it will increase the shape now, and I have to move it upward direction. So I will use arrow keys now. control and upward arrow. Control and upward arrow will move the object upward. Okay, and control downward arrow will move the object downward. Okay, so now I have to shift that object in upward direction. So that will be like this. I have pressed simply control and upward arrow. Okay, so now I have to put at this position. Okay, now again I need to change the shape. I will change the shape here, and if I want to create hole of this cylinder, then I will simply press H, so it will create hole. Again, if I press control and downward arrow, so it will move the object in downward direction. If I press like this, so then it is moving in downward direction. Okay, and now if I want to create a hole, then which option you need to use? That is, select the two objects, these two objects, and press Ctrl G, so it will group. Okay, see, hole is created. Okay, now if I want to ungroup this, then I will press Ctrl Shift and G, so this is ungrouped. Okay, so this is the some shortcut key which we have used here. Now I have moved it in upward direction. Now let us go and let us learn some single letter shortcuts. There is one shortcut key, that is L. So you must have seen what is alignment. If I want to align any two objects together, okay, if I want to align any two objects together, so what is the meaning of alignment now? Can anyone tell what is the use of alignment? For example, this is one object and this is second object. Now I am moving it in upward direction and I am moving this. Okay, and now I want to keep this cylinder at the middle of this box. I have to keep this to middle of this box. Then I will keep this box here and the cylinder. Then I will select these two things and I will press align tool. So see, there is align is written, and in that there is L letter is also given. So if I don't want to click here, so I will simply select these two objects and I will press L. So see, you have seen, you must have aware of there are three axes: x axis, y axis and z axis. So this is my x axis, this is my y axis and this is my z axis. So if you want to align on x axis, so if I have kept my cursor on this point, so it is showing red and it is showing some dimensions also. So if I will click like this, so it will keep the cylinder in middle. Okay, then if I want to use this point, so it is showing that object will move at some other space if I press on this red point. Okay, then this is z axis. So if you want to move your object upward direction on z axis, so if I will press like this, then object will move like this. So this is called as alignment. So this alignment tool is used in most of designing techniques. Now if I want to see the mirror of this, so guys, look here, there are three options on right hand side, that is grouping, ungrouping, then alignment and mirror. So if I click on mirror, there is one option, that is M. So if I will press M from keyboard, then it will give mirror look. See, this is the mirror look. This is the mirror look. Okay, so if I don't want, then I will simply press undo, that is Ctrl Z. So these are the basic tools which we have used in number of software: Control, Z is for undo, and Control Y is for redo option. Now if I want to place ruler, so for ruler there is one option, C, ruler, and if I will press R, so it will set ruler here. Then I can change the dimensions. So this ruler is used for placing the object on that grid, because whenever we will print any object on 3D printer, so at that time we need to set the dimensions initially, then only our object will be in right direction. Then we have again one option, that is the down. So if I will take one shape, so if I say that I have taken roof now, so if I have taken this roof and if I have moved in upward direction, and now I have to move it in downward direction, so I will simply press D, so it will be in downward direction directly. Okay, so these are some basic shortcut keys which are used for designing. Then if you want to create hole, so for that purpose there is one option on left hand side. So if I will click on the object, then there are two options, one solid and one is hole. But if I want to click use it by using the keyboard, then I will simply press H, so that object will be hole. Okay, now if you want to see, if you have created an object, for example if you have created one robot, and in that robot if you want to see the dimensions properly, then you can see it by pressing T. That is, if I will press T, then the object or the 3D object will be transparent. And if I will press again T, then it will be in original position. Then there are some interesting tools which are used for rotation option. So this is for example box, and in that box there are number of options available. So this is my box. You have seen some curved arrows here. So if I want to move it by some angle, so I will simply rotate like this. But if I will press shift and then I will rotate, so it will rotate by 45 degrees rotation. See, it is rotating by 45 degrees difference. Okay, so if I am using this arrow and if I am rotating, so it is rotating by the difference of 45 degree. Now if I want to create copy image of this, then I will simply Control C, Control V, Control C, Control V. So it will create a shape, and then simply I will Control G, so it will group the objects. So it is a shape now. Oh, sorry. Now I will remove this ruler now. I have grouped this. Okay, so these are some interesting shortcuts which we have used here now. Now we will go to the next part, that is the text wrapping. So I will delete everything now. Now I will take one box here. I will change the dimensions of this. One thing is remaining. If I want to move this object faster, at that time I will press shift key while moving the object. So it will rotate fastly. See, shift and arrow keys for moving the object. Okay, then there is one interesting feature, that is work plane. So already work plane is given, then why I have to use work plane? So if I will use work plane like this, I have clicked to work plane, and now I'm scrolling it. So this is showing white colored image, and if I want to keep it here, then here. So accordingly the arrow is changing. So if I am keeping it here, then if I want to align any shape, so let's say cone, if I want to align cone here, so I have used cone here, then it will properly set at the position whenever you will click work plane. Now I want to remove the work plane, then I will simply click on work plane and click anywhere. See, my object is aligned properly. There is no lag in between the rectangle and in between the cone. Now if you want to align these two objects together, so select these two objects and press align. So again it will showing the some arrows. So if I am clicking here, so it will align properly in the middle of box. Okay, so I hope you have understood the techniques which are used for grouping, ungrouping. There are some shortcuts which are used for faster editing of any 3D object. Now I will remove this. Now we will go towards one interesting feature that is called as scribble. Okay, so if I will click on scribble, so whatever I want to write, and that will be that you can write here. For example, I will write here hi, and if I want to create any kind of shape here, so that shape can be created. Okay, again if you want to do some editing, you can do some editing here. Okay, and there is one rubber also, eraser, through which you can erase the design. So this is simply like paint, but through this you can create your own 3D writing or 3D objects. So I have written here hi, and I will click on done, and now I will click on home. Okay, so whatever I have written, so that will be reflected on work plane. So if I want to change the color, I can change the color also. I have choose yellow color. Now I have to create one keychain, for example. So I will reduce the height now. I will place it in upward direction, and then I will place on the box. Again I will change some dimensions of this text. Okay, and so this is not properly aligned. So again I will group these two objects, and I will press align tool, and I will align it here. Okay, so this is the alignment, and now I will group these two objects. So this is my keychain ready with handwritten text. Okay, then some important tricks for creating an object with text. So let's say I will take one cylinder here. I have taken one cylinder. Again I will change the dimensions. For example, I want here 50, and I want here 50, and at the top height I want 55. Okay, see, the dimensions are changed. Now I will take one text here. So I have taken one text, and I will write here something. So see, there are some options. In text I will write T. Okay, and I can change the font also. I have changed the font. You can simply change height and all the segments. Now I have changed the height, and now I want to change the direction. Okay, direction of rotation. So one shortcut is there, press shift while holding rotation option. So this is one rotation option. Now I am pressing shift key and I am rotating it 90 degree. Okay, now I will move this object and I will press on cylinder. Make sure that dimension of text should be less than or equal to the diameter of cylinder. Okay, this I have done now. Next time you have to duplicate this object. Okay, so for duplication there is one shortcut, Control D, that is duplicate the object. So what is the difference in copy paste and duplicate? Copy paste will be paste the object or duplicate the object at some other with some other distance, and duplicate option will duplicate the object at the same position. So now I want to change the shape here. So for example, I am changing 50 to 42, and here also I am changing 50 to 42, and height I am increasing little bit, and outer one cylinder I am using hole option. Now group T and inner cylinder. So how you will group? Simply press shift and whatever objects you want to group, you have to click on those objects. Now I have selected T and inner cylinder, that is orange colored. Now I will use group option, or you can simply click Ctrl G. Done. Now outer cylinder, increase the height for outer cylinder. Now take one box. I have taken one red colored box. Cover that box with the whole cylinder. Okay, I have covered the cylinder and text also. Now group that red colored cylinder and red colored box and cylinder. So how you will group that? Press shift key and select these two objects and group this. Okay, now grouping is done. Now click outside and again select only outer box, hold that outer box. Now select outer box with shift and inner box and group these two. So this is called as text wrapping. So I have written some text on the cylinder. Now if I want to use it as a mug, then I have to create one hole inside. So how you will do that? Now I will simply select this cylinder now and I will duplicate by using this option, or I will press Ctrl D. Okay, then I will change the dimensions slightly. And I will increase the height little bit and I will make hole, and then I will group those two objects and I will make grouping. Oh, something went wrong here. I will press Ctrl Z. Okay, so if you want, you can check from all the directions that what is wrong here. Now my hole is not there at proper position, that's why
object was not properly done. Now again I will select this two and I will group this. See, this is the text wrapping. Okay, and I think I have done something wrong here also, so that's why this text is not proper. I think you must have learned some basic techniques which are used for the grouping and all. So let's do it again. Take one cylinder, increase the height and length with proper directions. For example, I will take here 50 and here I am taking it 50, and height is, let's say, 60. Okay, and take some text. If you want to change the text, you can. Now you can change the angle by pressing shift and rotation key. So it will rotate by 90 degree. I will write here 90. I will press home again. Change the dimensions. Wrap the text inside. Make cylinder duplicate. Change the dimensions slightly. Move it inside. And increase the height. Okay, and outer cylinder as whole. Take one box. Change the dimensions. Now group. Okay, this T and inner box you need to group initially, then take one box. Now group this box with the hole. Group this. Then outer box, select outer box, make it hole, and group this box with the cylinder. So this is my object, that is called as text wrapping. Then we will move toward another feature. If now I will save this by simply double clicking on this. I will write here wrap text and I will save this. Okay, then I will go to this option. I will click on new design. It is taking some time to get open. Till that you can view some shortcuts also. These are some shortcuts which we have used during editing 3D objects. So these are the shortcuts which we have used for editing 3D objects. Okay, so I will go to new design. Okay, now I have to see if I can import the objects in this work plane for editing purpose. So there is one option, that is import. Click on import button. So there are some options given: STL, OBJ and SVG. So these three kind of files you can use for importing the objects. So what is SVG? That is called as scalable vector graphics file, and STL is stereolithographic object. So I will press on choose file. So now I have some files. So this is SVG file which I have downloaded from Google. Now it is showing that the file is importing. So this is a 2D file. So this is importing. Till that time I will show you from where you can get the files. Okay, so on this you can click on Google and you can press SVG files. You can click on image. So you will find number of SVG files here. You can simply download and import in your software. So you will see like this. Then so these are some files. So you have to check the extension first and then you can download the file. Now how to use this file? So I am scrolling it. So now I have changed the dimensions of this, and now I will go to home. And here I can change the dimensions. See, so this is the file which I have imported, and now if I want to group this with some other object, so I can group this. I will reduce the height and I will keep this object. On this again I will reduce this. I will move slightly downward and then I will group this too. So likewise I can group the two different files and I can import the files. Again, if you want to import, then there is some option for importing STL files also. So there is one site that is called as Thingiverse. So this is Thingiverse site. On this Thingiverse you can get free models. Visit the site. On this you will get number of STL files. See, these are the files, that means ready-made images. If you want to explore, so you can search here also. See, I am searching for robot. So I am getting number of robot images. So I can simply click on this. So I think there is some problem with internet. So it is taking some time for loading. So see, there are number of files available. So this is the 3D object which is printed after giving this image as input to our 3D printer. So such kind of images will be printed. So it depends on the which type of filament we are using in this. So such kind of files you will get. So if I want to download this, so I will press on download. So I will get file here. So see, there is extension STL. So this is the STL file. So such file I have downloaded now. So I will directly import that file. Choose a file. So this is for example, this one is I'm importing. So scale is 100. Let's say this is 50, and I will import this. So it is showing importing the file. So it is taking some time. Till that time, please go through the shortcuts. These are some shortcuts which we have used in today's session. So it is still importing file. So till that time I will tell you some important features again. You can export the file in STL format, then you can send the file. There is again you can see the option as block. So you must have seen that Lego blocks and Lego bricks. So your object will be visible in that way. So this was the file which I have downloaded previously. So I have taken this file now, and if I want to make some modifications into that, so I will simply use some shapes here. So for example, if I want to take a ring, so I have taken ring here. And I have moved this ring in upward direction. See, there is some feature that you can change the size and dimensions of ring. That means you can create your own shapes also. See, this is the ring. If you want to minimize, you can directly click on this button. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, let's take some other shape which is easy to understand. Okay, I will take a box again. I think this problem is because of the because of the size of image. I can simply drag these two objects. Again, if I want to use align tool, then I will click on those two objects and I will click on align and align in the middle direction, and then I will group this. So my second file is ready now. So these are some interesting topics and some interesting things which we have learned today. So my two objects are ready now. One was SVG file and another was the STL file, and we have learned number of things today. So I think you guys have enjoyed this session, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. And I hope you will create number of different designs and you will mail us, and we can print those objects with our 3D printer. There is one comment, can we make it any kitchen on Tinkercad and print out by 3D printer? Yes, you can. So by using this Tinkercad tool, you can design your own equipments, you can provide dimensions, and you can print it also. And tomorrow we will come with one interesting session, that session on drones. So please be there for tomorrow's session. We will learn something interesting tomorrow. And we will share this PPT also. Any other doubts? Yes, anyone is having any doubt, you can make number of things by using this Tinkercad. While that time we will explore something. We have some shapes which are already given in this. For example, this chair is there. For kitchen equipments also there are number of things available. You can simply create different kinds of dimensions, provide different dimensions to that. And I have provided one site, that is Thingiverse. On that also you can search anything, but there is one limitation with this. You have to write proper spelling, then only it will show the results to you. Okay, thank you so much for watching today's session. If you have any doubt, you can ask us. We will surely reply to your questions, and thank you so much. Stay at home and stay safe.